This college basketball picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Go to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hello, this is Will Wade. I'll make you a strong ass offer to watch the college basketball experience.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. I was cleaning some stuff up on the old computer, and I found the Will Wade clip that I.
Shout out to Will Wade. He was a guest on the College Experience. Moneyline Mac had him chatting up. Nice little interview to go back there.
Oh yeah, Mac doing such good work all year round in the summer.
Yes, putting in the work, doing some
talking to all those coaches. The video of him and Will Wade recording that clip are quite funny.
Yeah, no,
just Mac laughing hysterically as he's saying, "I'll make you a strong ass.
I'll make you a strong ass offer." It's good he has a sense of humor about that stuff.
Well, it makes me think it makes me think that he's not as it makes me think he's guilty, but he's like he had to take it. Like he went to jail for a lot of other people kind of thing. Where I think that's how you laugh at it, right? You have to.
Wait, Will Wade actually went to jail?
No. I'm saying like he got in trouble. Like the idea of like you've gone past it. You obviously got in trouble for some shit that now is legal as hell. And yeah, I guess you got to laugh at it.
We're making this gentleman a strong ass offer to come on the show, talk college hoops. You know him from the College Experience Basketball Edition. Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
Whoa, just enjoying that echo.
Ryan's got a little.
Colby's got an echo. Must be on Colby.
It's rare for Ryan to blame sound problems on someone else.
Chad agrees with me clearly.
Colby, are you there?
I am, and I mean, Will Wade was doing same things that a bunch of other coaches were doing, but they NCAA picks and choose their battles. Same with the FBI, apparently.
Why does LSU? What is it about LSU that you think causes them to get in trouble repeatedly?
Well, they should have gotten in trouble way more in football. So.
You think it's the Patsy idea where like the basketball team is just taking it for the football team's discretion?
I do. I tend to think there's a lot of that going on. You saw Jim Tressel, the former Ohio State head coach, get named. What was it? Attorney General of Ohio? Something high up in the state of Ohio.
Dropping.
Yeah, I mean, they'd probably make a deal like you can't come down to the football program. It's too much. I can give you the basketball program.
You want to understand the states that are committed to winning at football. You look at what states have former football players or football coaches in their state senate or operating as some sort of politician. Alabama, check.
Yeah.
Ohio, check. Texas, check.
Well, yeah. I mean, Louisiana also and New Orleans in particular, known as a super corrupt city.
Coach O is going to be the governor soon.
Yeah.
You're like, shout out to corruption.
Yeah. Shout out to corruption. Shout out to Nolans.
Is New Orleans the most corrupt city over the Chicago and DC feel pretty high up there too.
I'm sure there's, I mean, if you want to include like recent history, Las Vegas definitely had some.
What do you mean?
Well,
I mean, seeing a guy about
I think Los Angeles is up there.
Yeah, No, I mean it's any big city. There's some sort of grifting going on, but New Orleans always had that reputation in particular.
Wow, and the stuff that came out recently about the Saints that continues to shine a nasty light on their connection to the Catholic Church.
Yeah, and then they had an eavesdropping device in the opponent's the press box. That was pretty awesome.
Completely fine compared to the church stuff.
Yeah, certainly. That was. Yeah, I don't get that story at all. Like I don't even under what their motivation was, what they gained out of it.
Yeah, why would you lend your public relations team to the Catholic Church to help them deal with a
How does it help you?
molestation scandal?
Yeah,
seems strange.
Fucking rotten hell. Colby, let's say you were just watching the Eagles go on a dominant run, one of the greatest NFL teams of all. Just saw them smash in the Super Bowl. You're just hopping into college basketball. Give people, some casuals, some mid-range fans. I mean, they're checking in pre-conference tournament. That certainly separates them from the hardcore casuals that only check in for March Madness. But what should we know? What are the storylines we're watching? What are the teams we're keeping an eye on? Give people a high-level view of college basketball.
Well, the ACC has been really bad this year. Maybe it's worse.
UNC has been horrible. Right?
Yeah, maybe the worst. And that's the thing that's crazy. You could have job openings at you are going to have job openings at Miami and Florida State, but you also could have them at Wake Forest, North Carolina, Syracuse, Boston College. So the whole conference is down in that regard, but Duke is the best it's been in probably since that Coach K Final Four team to New Orleans. And then you have the SEC, which is, in my opinion, is the best conference I've ever it's the best I've ever seen the SEC by far, without question.
Turning into as they're losing their dominance in football, it seems like they're turning into a basketball conference. And Colby,
doesn't someone have that theory? You can only be a basketball conference.
I mean, that's my theory, but I will say.
Oh, okay.
The SEC though, what exactly is going on with them being good in basketball is the same reason why all the other conferences have caught up to them in football, because you can pay players, and I mean they were doing it before, but it was a select few teams here and there because you didn't want the death penalty on your athletic department. So I mean it's been fascinating to watch the SEC. We'll see if that translates to March, because here's the one thing I would say is like Bruce Pearl, Rick Barnes,
Smash!
Todd Golden, Mike White, Buzz Williams haven't really had great postseason success in March. Can they figure it out? And I mean, besides Calipari and Beard, I think you could say a lot of those coaches have underachieved in March.
Per Bracket Matrix, which great site. If you're getting back into it, aggregates 1 million bracketology sites into one, so you can kind of see what the consensus is. If the season ended today, Sean, 3 SEC teams would be on the 1 seed line: Auburn, Alabama, and Tennessee. Again, according to Bracket Matrix, Duke would be the other. The 2 seeds would include Florida and Texas A&M. So that's now 5 SEC teams on the 1 or 2 line.
SEC.
Houston and Purdue chucked in there, and then you also have Kentucky on the 4 seed line. You have Mississippi on the 5 seed line. You have Missouri on the 6 seed line. Mississippi State on the 7 seed line.
Arkansas is coming on.
Oklahoma,
so
getting a 9 seed. So like you said, Arkansas are currently one of those. Vanderbilt, Texas, Georgia, and Arkansas all in like a relative bubble position. So massive for the SEC. Massive.
And much like in football, Vanderbilt has been frisky and been taking off some big programs, getting 9.5 points tonight too. So
can someone send me one of those new like graphic tee style shirts that the kids wear? That's a Buzz Williams shirt.
Oh wow,
please.
And I should also mention that Indiana's been a complete failure after spending a bunch of money in the NIL. The Big 12 still is really good, and then Slick Rick Pitino. Watch out for the Johnnies. Yes. Yeah, they're on a roll.
I was gonna say, as far as conference rankings, per KenPom, SEC massive margin on the field. And then he actually has Big Ten slightly ahead of Big 12, Colby, followed by Big East, ACC, and our Mountain West conference.
The Big Ten gets a lot of regular season love, but they have so many staples that I feel like in March, there's a reason why they've had such terrible success in the tournament over the past 25 years, really.
Also, if you're checking back in with college basketball right now, what should you know? You should know that in an attempt to diversify himself from Ken Pom, the great originator of college basketball advanced analytics, also a graduate of the great Virginia Tech University, Bart Torvik now has women's college basketball. Colby, care to comment?
God bless America.
All right. I just wanted to get that one through.
All right, let's get to some picks. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. Shocking dominance of the SEC. I will be, to Colby's earlier point, there are a lot of the greatest tournament choke artists we've ever seen are all coaching in the SEC.
Something's got to, worlds are colliding here. It's going to be fascinating to see because, we've gotten into arguments recently on our show of are we really just going to put Rick Barnes in the Final Four? I don't know that I can do that. You know what I mean?
I like his team this year. And you mentioned another guy that we have always loved, and that's Slick Rick Pitino, who we should have bet that future weeks ago, Sean. We fucked up.
Yeah. What's their price at now?
We'll have to look it up, but I will say, if you didn't see the clip when Rick Pitino was asked by a reporter after a game, hey, you're off to a great start. If someone told you, hey, you're going to be 12-1 to open Big East play, what would you say to them? He goes, how the fuck did I lose that game? It's the greatest response I've ever seen at a press conference. This man is confident right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get our hearts broken because we're going to irrationally bet on this team in March. And
he's a breath of fresh air with his statement. He goes, "We're the best defensive team in the country, but when we shoot free throws, I want to fucking kill myself."
Yeah,
he's honest at least.
Yeah, no, he's it is great the candor that you get out of old Slick Rick.
Well, you know what it is. He has no fucks to give.
Yeah.
It's great. Like,
how are you gonna take this?
We're seeing
down?
this all over the place, right? We got Belichick showing up to the award show wearing every Super Bowl ring he has with this hot ass girlfriend. Does not give a fuck. They make fun of it. He's laughing like a pig in shit. Now you got the.
This is the Slick Rick Photoshop. YouTube.com/SportsGamblingPodcast. Jake did an awesome job because I found a great photo of Slick Rick, and I'm like, I wonder if Jake can actually get the eye patch on Rick Pitino, and it really. Also, we got a random ladder in the background for people who follow CJ's work as well. So lot to enjoy.
Was that ladder an Easter egg, or is that in the original?
No, I think that was in the original photo. He must have just been hanging out backstage. I don't know. I could look at this all day. It's amazing. All right.
So St. John's laying 2 against Villanova. Complete trash situation there. Give me St. John's, obviously.
Oh, hey, do we even say the line?
Yeah, -2. Oh, that's right, Colby. These are all. Well, I'm guessing actually this is real.
The ones with the asterisks are the made up ones.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The Dundee ones. St. John's is laying 2 against Villanova here. Down in beautiful, not Philly, but Philly.
Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. Colby, can we really fade Villanova at home?
Well, I'll say this. First off, Davion Smith is a game time decision for the Johnnies, but Villanova is in a spot. St. John's can afford to lose games.
Yes.
Villanova is in a spot where if they win this game and they have UConn and Marquette coming up, they're in a desperate spot, but they still have enough of a tough schedule. They could play their way into the NCAA tournament. I just don't think they're good enough though. Give me St. John's.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the fuck are you talking about, Colby?
Well, I'm saying
St. John's can lose some games. Have you listened to Rick Pitino this year? He's not trying to lose games.
They have a really good defense. I know defense travels, but so do their problems at the line. You're getting 2 points as a home dog for the Villanova Wildcats. Villanova's 81% from the line. You're crazy.
What? You're taking Villanova?
Yeah, of course. This is right. I love a good home dog. That's how you get paid in college sports, not taking road chalk. Colby loves every home team in college basketball except Slick Rick. I'm sticking with Villanova here.
Ask Danny Hurley if he still thinks he's the best coach in the game, because Slick Rick went up there and reminded him that the student can't fuck with the teacher.
I do like the idea of yeah. I just like the power struggle and Hurley losing. Good luck, Sean. Philly used a lot of the sports mojo last couple weeks on the football field. So good luck. Will people be at this game?
Yeah.
City's very drained after the parade.
The parade's not till Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This game might get rescheduled too, because there's a big winter storm coming. So
really
keep an eye out.
I believe they play at Northeastern.
Yeah.
Don't they play inside?
Yeah, but
Colby, what is this? They're canceling games inside because of the weather.
College kids are soft these days.
Me and Colby are on the right side. All right, 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday. We're heading not to Radford, Virginia, where the Horrors reside, but Rock Hill, South Carolina, where the Horrors will be on the road taking on Winthrop. Pick Dundee projects this to be -2. Colby.
So this is a huge game in the Big South. Really, there's like 4 teams battling for the 1 seed there. It seems like High Point's probably going to be the team with the 1 spot, but this is a big spot for the 2 seed. Radford won by 20 back on January 4th with the Whores in.
Did they send their advanced scouting party? Do we know?
What better, Ryan? You always call them the Horrors of Radford, because the Horrors of Radford play no defense, and they don't play defense in college basketball either. 243rd ranked defense. And Winthrop's defense is just as bad.
I didn't see a Horrors don't play defense joke coming.
No, they don't. Come on.
Well, Winthrop is 14-1 at home, and Radford 6-8 on the road. That's a big thing to me. But Sean, I know you bring up the free throw shooting as Radford far superior than Winthrop, but I just think Winthrop at home, the way they rebound the ball, 63rd in the nation at rebounding the ball, is all the difference. And the fact they lost by 20 in game 1. I think you circle that. You're going to have the motivation. You don't walk into Rock Hill, South Carolina, to the Winthrop Coliseum and push them around. Give me, what are they? The Eagles, to get it done here.
Eagles getting it done. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm with Colby. Winthrop laying the 2 in the revenge spot. Feels good.
I was just looking up the number to see. We might actually have a real number here. It looks like Colby nailed it. 2.5 is what I'm seeing. Any changes to the handicap at 2.5?
No. I think I would probably go up to 4.5, even with Winthrop there.
Radford's home edge comes at home with their Horrors. They will not be the same on the road. Enjoy
weak legs.
By the way, the Discord murdered us last week.
Not a good week for the Discord.
5-2. So they get we'll give them the Horrors and see how they deal with it. Youngstown, Ohio plays host to Youngstown State. Shout out to the football program. 3:30 p.m. here on the West Coast, going against Fort Wayne. Road favorites here, 1.5. This is a real one.
It's a real one, and there's 2 huge Horizon League games tomorrow. We love the Horizon tournament, so buckle up. That's right around the corner. Youngstown's been a great story because we kind of thought they would regress after losing their head coach to Utah State, but they've been great. They're 16-10. IPFW, I think, could be the team that we see in March. So I am going to take them as road warriors against this Youngstown team. The main reason why for me is just IPFW's offense is super elite, currently 25th in offensive rating. And then the fact that they're just a overall good shooting team. They can hit the 3.
Call them, Colby? Dons? The Dons?
The Mastodons. Yeah.
What do you like if you're like a fan of the team? How do you refer to Purdue Fort Wayne?
I would assume Mastodons because the Dons are San Francisco.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, do you say IPFW? Do you say we're Fort Wayne? Do you say
Yeah, I
we're
think
Purdue?
I think it's Fort Wayne.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
with Colby. Youngstown State hasn't been good at home either. 3-5 ATS, but just they lost to IU Indy. They lost to Robert Morris. They lost to Cleveland State. Like they have not been good. They lost at Purdue Fort Wayne by 9. I know maybe there's a revenge angle here for them, but the Purdue Fort Wayne is the much better offense, kind of elite, and might if they get into the tournament. They could be an interesting first round matchup for a team because they have. I'm just looking at their stats, and I assume some of these are like some senior guards. Their turnover stuff, like all those metrics you look to for a team to upset in the tourney. Purdue Fort Wayne checks a lot of the boxes, except the offensive rebounding, but shooting, lack of turnovers, free throws.
Well, also they're a tempo team, so they'll most likely push teams into a pace. Ideally,
and also maybe they don't rebound a ton because they hit a ton of shots. I do
Yeah.
like IPFW here.
The
pace
guards.
teams. Well, in fairness, pace teams often don't have a great offensive rebounding percentage because they're often not waiting to fully set up their offense.
Yeah, and the guards you're referring to, Jalen Jackson, Rasheed Bello, and Corey Hadnot combined for like 46 points of the team's scoring.
Hadnot's a great name. I'll the chat saying PFW. That almost sounds like I wouldn't go with that. I'll go with Fort Wayne laying the 1.5.
Kramer always loves a good favorite.
These are small though. Barely feels right.
Really?
I need a juicy favorite. We got some coming up.
Yeah, we got some juicy favorites, some big dogs. Hey, have you guys signed up with Edge Boost? What are you waiting for? Love my Edge Boost Visa debit card. It's FDIC insured. It's great. Sportsbooks, DFS, sweepstakes, casinos, wherever you're getting down, either digitally or analog, aka in person. You got to be using the Edge Boost Visa card. You can avoid a ton of fees, the cash advance, the card getting declined. It just sometimes it's really a pain in the ass trying to get down on these sites, on these apps. I've had the experience of having the card decline. You're like, wait, I have available balance on the card. Why is it not going through? These things get flagged. Edge Boost avoids all that. And honestly, they have a bunch of other good reasons. It's free, no credit check, etc. But the real reason is you earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards just for depositing to places you're going to deposit to anyway. Why would you not use the Edge Boost card, rack up those rewards, sign up using our promo code? So it helps us out and it helps you out. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We should be using the Edge Boost rewards to get down on a sweet St. John's future. Maybe the ship has already sailed, but still like it. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookie. Bet with the best over on mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. 100% match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply on the rollover, but MyBookie is great. Obviously, all this college basketball you can find over on mybookie.ag. Live action, the prop builder, perfect. They even offer some college basketball props. Make sure you check it out. And then again, deposit and withdrawal using that sweet cryptocurrency makes it super easy. Highly recommend it. If you need help getting your MyBookie crypto going, hit me up or Kramer. And of course, sign up mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN.
Always great when you get the how the fuck do I do crypto DM.
Yeah. Happy to help.
I sent out my Super Bowl squares pool this year with not the first year I've done this, but where I mentioned at the top of the email that crypto is preferred. Really causes a stir. People are either into crypto or not into it all. It's amazing how polarizing it still is. It's 2025, people. I'm going to guess this program not into crypto. Iowa heads down to Piscataway, New Jersey.
They grow corn and Ethereum.
Yeah, they don't strike me as a pro crypto shop.
You never know. I'm sure we're gonna have some Iowa listeners reach out and be like, "I love crypto."
Then it would give me a great chance to talk to them about Web3 gaming and getting a digital horse stable going. Rutgers taking on Iowa, laying 6.5 here. at the rack or whatever they call it now. Colby, remind me, what do they call it now?
Some
Mike
corporate
Center?
sponsor. Yeah. Danny DeVito's doing backflips at halftime.
Now that Jersey Mike's has been bought up by some sort of global conglomerate, eventually there'll come some scandal and they'll have to drop them, just like the Papa John situation down there in Louisville. Iowa catching the 6.5. Colby, what are we doing? That seems like a big number, even though I think the normal procedure is to take Rutgers at home.
No, I'll lay it. I mean, look, Iowa's winless on the road. They're injured. Rutgers can still. I mean, right now they're far on the outside, but they have opportunity ahead of them with some of the teams they're playing. I mean, they got Purdue, Michigan, Oregon, all on the upcoming schedule. They got to take care of business.
He's gonna pull a hammy.
He feels like he's trying to be really nice to Rutgers.
Colby, you're taking Rutgers, Colby.
I am with their look. The Rex. This is that far road trip from the teams over on that side of the Big Ten, and coming over to Piscataway. I think it's a good home court edge.
Yeah.
I also think Rutgers is a little. I mean, I don't think Iowa actually has a shot. I think that job's going to be open. Rutgers can still get there, so I think Rutgers will. This is a more important game for them in that regard.
Sean, how do you have a team from Iowa that doesn't shoot free throws?
Yeah, I mean, come on. What?
All right, I'm back.
How do you call yourself Staples if you're 68% from the line? Yeah, I mean, I don't like Iowa to win this game. I just worry about Rutgers being able to cover a 6.5.
Yeah,
that being said, I will take Rutgers laying the 6.5, but I don't. This feels like a hair high for Rutgers, so I would worry about the back door catching you, but I can't play Iowa. They have not. They just don't look like a competent road team right now.
So last show I took 4 dogs, and it really was part of the reason I had a horrible show.
Iowa 1-6 in their last 7.
Yeah,
and some of it's because they're on the road. This is a tough spot for them. At Rutgers, at Maryland, then home for Oregon, home for Washington. This season feels like it's falling apart. So I think it's going to be tough to get up for this game.
According to Weehawk in the chat, Iowa College of Business has a Hawkeye cryptocurrency club.
Oh, hell yeah. And Nick Fortune saying he's in Iowa and he enjoys crypto. Maybe we found a crypto mecca.
I have a feeling just the people who like crypto in those places are more likely to be listening to a gambling show, because that's probably why they got into crypto in the first place. Next up, we're heading to Raleigh, North Carolina, where Louisville comes to town. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. The Pussy Pack is laying 7.5 here. Colby, big number against.
Wait, they're catching 7.5, right?
What?
Did I mess that up?
Louisville's laying it. Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. You screwed me up there. Louisville. Let me get back into character. Louisville -7.5 on the road against the Pussy Pack. Colby, I assume it will be declaring continued war on NC State. How are we feeling about this Louisville team?
Look, it's been a great year for Pat Kelsey, year 1 as head coach there. But I think it's a little steep, especially knowing that Chucky Hepburn is a game time decision. So he might not play. You're at the Pussy Pack. The Pussy Pack, believe it or not, they have some good Pussy Pack fans. Whoa. And
who isn't a fan of Pussy?
I think like they can stay within that number. You know, NC State's trash, but at home they've been a little chippy.
This is a Benedict. I'm predicting a Benedict here.
Louisville wins. Louisville wins by 2.
Check the what does he have on the picks page?
This is tough because NC State. I mean, I'm looking at 8 in a row they've lost. Their backs are against the wall. There is no look ahead spot. I'm kind of with Colby but they haven't been. They've been bad on at home, on the road. Is this a hair high for Louisville? Is the question, Kramer? I assume you're just going to take Louisville laying the points, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was surprised. I'm really surprised Colby's not.
Well, hang on here. I mean, look. I mean, NC State played well at Duke, right? Stayed with them. That spread was like 20. The final score was 10, but that was even closer than that game. They only lost to Texas pretty much at the buzzer in that very building. how much better is Louisville than Texas? You know, not much. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that home edge, I don't think like it's been a great story for Louisville this year, but I don't think they deserve to be this big of a favorite on the road
they did lose if your case against NC State is they lost to Cal at home. That's not a great loss. Losing at Virginia Tech, losing to Clemson, who looks really good now, but you lose by 10. I'll take NC State, but just because this should be like 5.5. So I'll take.
Is that what your number?
My model has this at 5.5. I'm with Colby. Let's go. Wolf pack, pussy pack.
Okay. Final answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel confident.
Okay.
That's a real number, by the way. That's not a Dundee number. That's a real number out there right now.
I think all of the numbers are out. We should have real numbers for everything now. Next up, we got Mr. Chris Beard, and maybe one of the coaches that you can trust a little bit more. Can we trust Chris Beard in postseason play?
Certainly more than some of the coaches in the SEC.
They're laying 5 against the Cox of South Carolina in Columbia.
Long Cox.
How are they? Are they long this year, Colby? South Carolina.
Long Cox. Yeah, they're long. They're long. Yeah.
All right.
Whoa.
Just wanted to confirm.
They're athletic Cox usually. The ones that they.
I mean, all joking aside, they are a historically long team.
Yeah, and athletic.
Yeah,
long athletic Cox.
Yeah, exactly. But they've lost a lot of games in a row.
Well, they're losing Cox.
They're like it's got to be gut wrenching to be a South Carolina. And dude, a lot of them have been by like 1 point, 2 points.
Heartbreakers.
Yeah.
OT to Mississippi State, losing to Florida by 1. They lost to Vandy by a bucket.
Florida didn't have the lead that entire game until 1 second left.
They almost upset Auburn.
So Colby, you were a big Lamont Paris guy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. He's a good coach. He got him to the tournament. Well, I mean, they made the tournament last year. I mean, I thought they would have an SEC win so far this year, but it's just been bad luck. I actually think that SEC win happens right here because guess what? Ole Miss has the Egg Bowl on deck, so it's a classic look ahead. So give me the Cox to get it done at home, get that first SEC win.
I'm with Colby. I mean, even if they lose this game, but I think they are live on the money line, they're probably pretty good to cover this number. You look at the advanced numbers and you factor in the look ahead spot for Ole Miss. I mean, the problem is South Carolina's offense has been dog shit, but I think in a game like this they can muck it up a bit, and their defense is good, 45th defensive efficiency. So.
And I think it'll be lit because you have a top 20 team coming into the stadium
they're
there.
Get up
so
for this game,
yeah.
I like this angle. I will take the dog.
Wow,
rare dog. Need one of them. Yeah, the Egg Bowl is a big deal. Those people in Mississippi. Although I don't have.
Colby, why did they call it the Egg Bowl? I forget.
Why is it called the Egg Bowl? I don't remember. Off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Whoa.
Kramer, do we need to get a new college specialist?
I think I mean, I don't know if I can listen to them anymore.
There are a lot of schools out there.
Okay, so it's just basically called the shape of the trophy kind of looks like an egg. It was made after the footballs that were used in the 1920s, which were more
almost like a basketball,
more like a rugby ball. Yeah. So that's why they call it the Egg Bowl.
Yeah, it was originally called the Battle for the Golden Egg. There you go.
There we go. Now I understand why I don't remember it.
I would have told a story like, you see, back in the day, there was this Ole Miss kid and the Mississippi State family, and the Ole Miss family kept going in and stealing the eggs from the chickens.
No, hitting them with eggs when he came out the house. Picking on them, call him a piece of trash.
I mean, if you think about, like, it just feels like the idea that farm beef was behind the name of so I figured it was a poultry thing. Robert Morris taking on Cleveland State. By the way, Discord getting loaded up with picks today. Robert Morris and Cleveland State. Colby giving us some bonus games that no one care about except for us. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Cleveland State is laying 3.5. Colby, break this one down.
First off, this is how you tell the real from the fake, because this game's awesome. Both these teams have been great surprises. Cleveland State's won 14 of 15 games. And Bob Morris has been playing good ball too. They've came out of nowhere, 18-8, currently in third place in the horizon. They could get that 1 seed here with a huge road win, but I don't think you walk into the Wolfenstein Center and get that dub. Cleveland State beat them by 11. Beat them by 11 on January 8th. I think Cleveland State at home has been the real deal. They're 12-2. I like the Vikings minus the points here.
I assume Robert Morris is on. I don't actually know where Moon Township is, but I assume it's on the western part of the state.
Yeah, I believe it's close to Pittsburgh.
The Colonials.
So we're not worried about a old Bobby Morris getting up for this game. Colby making it pretty close. They've been decent on the road.
I mean, it's a great game, man. Both these teams have been really good this year. But I think Cleveland State has kind of, I know we just said IPFW to would be the best offense in that conference and a team that could get there in March.
Robert Morris lost to Cleveland State at home by 11. So I guess you could look at it two ways. Do they get up for this revenge, or is Cleveland State just that much better?
They have the best offense per Ken Pom and the best defense per Ken Pom in the conference. So, I think we've learned this before with these conferences, right? You can sometimes take the longer shots in the tournaments because these conferences don't set their tournaments up like the WCC with the 15 buys. But in the regular season, the difference between the best team and the 4th or 5th best team sometimes is larger than it may seem. And so I
wait till you see the Sun Belt Conference tournament this year.
Oh, well, the Fun Belt is always a great.
I'll go Cleveland State. What are you doing, Kramer?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The difference here that we're getting a short number. My thesis was going to end with was we're getting a short number here because the class of this conference might just be way better than everyone else.
It's Kramer on Cleveland State laying the 3.5.
Yes. Colby copying me again.
Yep.
Interesting. Chattanooga heading to Birmingham, Alabama, a state that definitely cares about their football. Take on Sanford.
Sanford and Son.
4:30.
You gotta get that theme song going from Sanford and Son.
I'm sure Colby has it. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast, and actual number here is Sanford laying 4.5. Colby's projected number was a bit off. Interesting. So I'm guessing you must like the dog or the favorite at this price, Colby.
Dog.
Well, what number did I have it projected at again?
You had 6.5.
Yeah. I do. I mean, look, these are the top 2 teams in the SoCon right now. In my opinion, the best conference tournament that you could watch out there. I feel like the SoCon conference tournament delivers every year. Maybe you could say the Big East or SoCon to me is just chaos. I think Sanford at home is just a wagon. The way they play, first off, they're 12-1 at home this season, but also the style that they play at. Nate, they're basically Alabama Junior. They're 4th in the country in 3-point shooting. They play at a top 40 pace. Chattanooga, I think, will have a chance to pick them off in Asheville in the conference tournament. But going into their place, the clash of styles, the way they play, I'm going to take.
I'm with Colby. This number is short. Sanford's 8-3 ATS at home. Ken Pom has this at 6.
Is there an injury?
Not that I see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a good spot. I mean, normally, there's a couple metrics here that would point you maybe towards Chattanooga, but again, not good at offensive rebounding, which is what you need if you're going to be a dog on the road, and they don't have the defense that you need to travel as well. So I'll stick with the favorite here in Colby. Give me Sanford laying 4.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna place a bet on this right now.
This Sanford team, guys, can fucking gun. If they get to the NCAA tournament, they're going to be a fun watch. Like, I mean, it will normally the 1 seed I feel like loses a lot in the SoCon tournament, but if they can get there, that would be a very fun matchup in the first round with whoever they go
Colby's
with.
point, 15th in the nation in the 3-ball. So again,
And they
that's the
play at
kinda
a
team you
crazy
want.
pace. They're just running up. They have multiple guys that can just bury threes, but we'll see if they can get there because the SoCon's doomed with 1 seeds. I hear. I feel like historically.
After this game, they'll have 4 guys who already have 100 3-point attempts.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I could just see like what I don't know, like a Big Ten school drawing them in the first round and just being like, oh boy, like Wisconsin. I don't know. I mean, maybe Wisconsin could muck it up with their style, but I just feel like this is a dangerous team for anyone to face in March if they can get there.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the free throws. Xavier heading to Providence, Rhode Island. Cousin, I would imagine weekday, so Cousin Mush will not be in attendance. Providence, 5 p.m. local or 5 p.m. out here, which means 8 p.m. local time. Plenty of time for the locals to enjoy a cocktail or two. This one is actually, let's see, the spread is Xavier -2 on the road. This feels like a smash spot for the favorite, Colby. Smash.
Well, they're the team that can actually make it to the NCAA tournament. Once again, like how much weight do you put into that around this time of year? Xavier,
Teams are quitting, and the transfer portal only makes like the way that college basketball is now only makes it worse. So you definitely, I would imagine someone like Colby who's dialed in, you can get ahead of this team is sliding because they're quitting.
But then that's one of the. I mean, the fans will still show up to this fucking game. This is a really hostile environment. So, I just don't know about Sean Miller at Xavier though. I'm gonna take Providence at home. Just like I Xavier's is clearly the better team, better roster.
8:00 tip.
I just don't think they're that good.
They're not good on the road. They're 4-5 ATS on the road. I think this is if there is a little fight left in this Providence dog, they need to get this win. They're coming off the road. They played Butler well. They played St. John's competitive. Like they're not a horrible team. I don't think they should be a home dog here. So I'll take Providence.
They did beat Marquette on the road for what it's worth.
Who?
Xavier.
No, yeah, Xavier is a much better roster than Providence, but Sean Miller just hasn't been able to get this unit to be cohesive.
All right. Well, I'll lean into something Sean usually likes to lean into, which is trust. You can really trust Xavier at the line in a close game, 2-point spread. That's really going to matter. Lay the points with Xavier or Xavier, depending on how you like to say it. Washington, the Huskies out of the Pacific Northwest, heading to Columbus, Ohio, in a new traditional Big Ten matchup. Still funny as shit to me that Ryan Day went from being the worst person in Columbus to Colby, do we know what his buyout is?
I read it, but I don't remember. But dude, think about that. You think some of these people that send him death threats are like, "Hey man, I was just fucking around. What? I was just fucking around with you, man. I'll buy you a sandwich. What are you doing?"
This will be funny though if he obviously won the national championship, but then he loses to Michigan this year again. Like they'll still be so pissed.
And then we'll get the report that like his buyout is a record $125 million. And then next thing you know, Ohio State's got some Saudi money. They've given up access to something, the clean water in Ohio, to these researchers. 5:30 p.m. on the West. Again, 100% chance, Sean. We're talking about Ryan Day in a negative context because the hangover. They won the championship now. It's going to be hilarious. Ohio State's laying 10.5 here against the Huskies. Colby?
Look, I mean, I hate these new Big Ten Pac-12 games, but Danny Sprinkles, our boy, great Osabar, the big man for Washington. I mean, look, they've been. It's really hard to. These teams have been terrible. Whether it's UCLA, whether it's USC, whether it's Washington or Oregon, when they go east, it's just like, hey, maybe this was a horrible idea. Oh, it was. I hate laying this much points with Ohio State because I don't think they're that good, but I think you have to. I think you have to because all these teams have been fucking getting destroyed when they do these trips. So give me the Buckeyes minus the points.
No, this is a smash spot for Ohio State. They put away bad teams. They're 9-3 ATS at home. And to Colby's point, like the travel spot for these Big Ten teams, it's probably not fully priced into the market yet. I'm sure some of it is here, and maybe this number should be like 9.5. But I'm not taking Washington the points. They could get stomped on here.
It's also just a bad matchup, like basketball wise. Danny Sprinkle should have stayed. Colby should have stayed. I liked him more when he was a small time coach. I don't like this double hop move he did. Go back to Montana State. You were fun then. Back-to-back tournaments where we got to lose money on you. That was fun. All right. I'm laying it. What do you mean? What are you looking at me like?
No,
obviously I'm laying it. I'm telling Danny Sprinkle to go back to Montana State.
Who writes down the picks. It's great when you say I'm taking and then you say the team name. Right, Colby?
Colby knew what I was saying because he knows ball.
No, I knew you were going to Ohio State.
We were having a Bobcats conversation over here
because they're the favorite, and that's all you do with your handicapping. But right,
I have a athletic long cock dog.
We're gonna talk about some underdogs, in particular the underdogs over on Underdog Fantasy. When you use the promo code SGPN, get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. Colby, I think you hit our last college basketball one. Nice job there. What are we doing for our next college basketball entry? I'm seeing a ton of players here.
Oh yeah,
available. What do we like?
We're gonna go with Ryan Kalkbrenner, the big man for Creighton. They're playing UConn. They're playing UConn, but Kalkbrenner's been in fuck you mode recently. 19.5 points. Give me the higher on that. And then I'm gonna go to this. We're gonna pair it with Kramer's boy, Blue Kane.
Yes.
I think he's going to hit some rough seas against the Buzzsaw. So I'm going to say lower than 9.5 points in College Station.
Ryan, this is a real Sophie's choice.
No, I love this.
Okay.
What's the lower?
9.5.
Lower is
points.
9.5.
Yeah.
So pair that together. Lower 9.5 points for Blue Kane, and higher 19.5 points for Ryan Kalkbrenner. $100 returns you $267. And you get those bonus bucks when you go to underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
Talking about cocks and calks and all sorts of stuff. 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Fayetteville, Arkansas, one of Sean's favorite teams in the SEC. LSU coming to town against the Coach Cal led Arkansas Razorbacks. Boy, he did a good job going back to Kentucky. I'll say that. I'll give Coach Cal a little bump there. -7.5 on the line here. I'm going to confirm that because I didn't double check that one. Colby, what do we like? 9 is the number. Holy crap.
Yeah, I'll take the points though.
9.
I'll take the points then. Look, Arkansas has been playing a lot better ever since, the Kentucky game / the injury to Boogie Flan. But they this is a big number. I mean, LSU, I think they're probably going to fire McMahon, their coach, after the season. But man, they lose by 2 to Ole Miss. They had Auburn within that number. I know they lost by 0.5 point on the cover. Alabama by 7 on the road in Tuscaloosa. I think they beat Arkansas in Baton Rouge, so I think they could stay within that number. I think the Razorbacks win the game. But LSU is talented enough to stay within that number. Like for some reason, they just haven't been able to close out these games. They stay within that number. They cover. Arkansas wins and moves inches closer to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'm always down for a conference dog, and they're good from the line. Play pretty good defense. You expect that to travel to opponents that know each other. 9 points. That's a hair high in my mind. Kramer, I assume you're taking the
well, they're coming
Arkansas.
off a loss at home. This is a smash spot. Love laying the points.
LSU
here.
also coming off a loss. If you like that trend, can I interest you in them coming off 6 losses?
No. But they're not at home coming off a loss. And we'll get to bet against. Confidently I will be betting against Arkansas when we talk about their game versus Texas A&M on Saturday.
All right, but you're on Arkansas right now.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So if you want to do a fun parlay, do an Arkansas with an open, and we'll take Arkansas and then fade Arkansas.
All right.
within one parlay.
I'm not going to do that because I like LSU.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's the wrong side. Drake, who by the way had a really rough Super Bowl. Whole halftime show just calling him a pedophile. Very strange.
Not
stuff.
ideal.
Call me old fashioned, but I like.
Hey Drake, why are you watching the Super Bowl this year? I'm not into the matchups. Maybe could you imagine Drake just taking Colby's talking points? I'm not watching the Super Bowl because they play that thing in a dome. They don't even let those guys hit anymore. Drake claiming to be an old school football fan, and they ruined the game with the forward pass and the color TVs. And it's because they don't want to watch the kickoff.
And I'll be honest, it's the game started to get ruined when they started to do music at halftime. Which started with the Giants Bills.
I did like the jetpack clip of the halftime show from the old Super Bowl. That was pretty awesome. But also, how did we have jetpacks in 1967 and we've somehow lost jetpacks?
I'm with you.
Go?
You don't want to ask those questions.
Or the what was it, like the bobsled? Or not the bobsled, the snowmobile. The snowmobile going open over the track. Dude, go back and watch the Super Bowl halftime shows all until 1990 when death hit the sport with Whitney Houston. All right.
Oh, she was a great.
Do you know when the first halftime show was?
No.
Music? Or what are we talking here?
The first time there was a performance at halftime at a football game.
Oh, well, I know the Super Bowl was 90.
1967 game between Arizona and Grambling State. They're marching bands, but
now that's a halftime show, right?
That's a classic.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
You gotta watch a little bit of the jetpack. Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
How did we not? This is like 1960s.
Yeah,
the crowd's going.
They're fucking going wild. Birds are fucking going wild. Like, this is way better. This is way better than whatever the halftime show is.
If you want
on my way to steal your bitch, like
if you want the number,
how do we not have these?
Someone probably exploded. But
sure, that's worth it.
Look, they do a handshake too, because it's like last time, don't bang into me, you bastard. All right, let's do a fair jetpacking.
But you know what the real thing to look at there?
Yeah.
The people that talk about the bird devices or like the ways they keep birds away from sporting events, they're 100% right. When's the last time we watched a football game and you cut to something, you saw that many pigeons flying away?
See that, but that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. The more
well, that's another angle on birds. Yeah. That they're all listening devices and watching devices.
That makes sense
for our alien overlords that live in the atmosphere above our head.
But they need to mic up birds.
It's like drones.
Can't they just watch from their alien places?
Well, think about all the diseases that are spread with birds.
There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind that human being and bird can coexist peacefully.
Well, listen, if birds get so many horrible diseases, why are they still living? How have they survived this?
How do they get through bird flu every
year? It would
year?
be like if all humans were horribly susceptible to getting chicken pox and diabetes repeatedly. They would die. They would die. Anyway,
Drake on the road. They've been on.
Yeah, we got on this because Drake had a tough Super Bowl. And I was gonna say that call me old fashioned, but I liked my football before they had anti-pedophile protests at halftime. Drake laying 3.5 here on the road against Illinois State. Is this correct, Colby? Normal?
Yes.
Illinois? What a great town name. Also the most Midwestern town name of all time. Probably looks great from the window of the airplane, Sean. Who are we taking here, Colby?
Drake is 22-2, so much better than the performer. And then Illinois State is coming on strong. You know, they've been pretty good in their past few home games there. So Drake won by 4 back on January 15th. I think this is a revenge spot. I'm gonna load up on the Redbirds there with Johnny Kinziger. I think this place will be lit. By the way, this place will be lit, and that's to me part mainly of the handicap right there. You could dive into it. They're both good offensive teams. But yeah, I mean, both struggle at rebounding too. But I'm gonna go with the home crowd just as the difference maker in this game and the revenge game.
Yeah, it's close. I see why Drake's a 3.5 point favorite, but to Colby's point, Illinois State, they're kind of similar teams. You look at the advanced stuff. Illinois State's defense not good, so there's a chance Drake comes in and just shoots the lights out. But neither team great rebounding, which means the home team gonna have a little bit more effort, get the those contested balls. I think that could be the difference here in the number. So, give me Illinois State plus 3.5 as the home dog. Kramer.
Yeah, Illinois State. They take a ton of threes. They're one of the top teams in the country in 3-point reliance, and Drake can defend the 3-point line a little bit. This is easy handicap. Lay the points. Colby Trip Tepper wants to know. That's a great name and great idea. If you don't want to put your face on your YouTube avatar, just put a football. It's a great way to identify, right? He identifies as a football.
Guy knows ball. Who are we to tell him he can't identify as a football?
Can Drake get an at-large bid?
I think it's possible. They'll need some things to go their way. They beat Vanderbilt and they beat Kansas State. Those teams, Kansas State's back into the mix of potentially making the NCAA tournament, but they're going to need a lot of help too. I feel like it's really stacked against the mid majors with how good and how deep the SEC and some of these other conferences have been this year. But I think it's possible for them, not likely.
So fun. I had a little note next to the Drake one, a little trivia here. Drake is riding a 10-game win streak, as you know, Sean. Who are they? They are tied with two teams in the country for the second longest win streak. Can you name one of those teams?
Duke.
Duke is not correct. Colby, you want to help him? He's phoning a friend.
Wait, the second longest win streak?
These two teams have a 10-game win streak, just like Drake.
Oh, I know this. We were talking about this on the show the other day too.
One, you should both be ashamed of yourselves. We've been talking about future tickets.
St. John's.
Okay.
Yes.
The other is Colby.
It's a mid-major.
So I'll give you a hint. I would say this is a Radford-like university near where you are from.
VCU.
Towson.
Damn, I knew that. That's what we talked about that.
Towson. And the number one win streak in the country is 11 games. My Akron Zips. Let's go.
Zip it up.
They're balling.
Ah, yes, sir. 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Oh, what were you going to say?
No. Fire.
Columbia, Missouri.
And Duke did just lose to Clemson, but I forgot about that. No, well
You're close.
How many did they win before that?
People like the trivia. I'll give you partial credit.
They had a crazy streak going, and I forgot they lost to Clemson.
Yeah. I'm sure someone will also DM me about you looking up the answer while we were doing trivia.
I didn't look up the answer.
I'm just.
If I looked up the answer, I wouldn't have guessed Duke.
I think after you got it wrong, you looked up the answer. Oklahoma heads to Columbia, Missouri.
Then I wouldn't I have guessed the correct answer?
But no, you got it wrong. Then you looked up the answer, and then you got it right. Missouri laying 8 points against Porter Moser. Colby was off on this one by 1.5, which makes me think he's going to like Missouri. Missouri is one of those nice home games in the SEC. This Missouri team's interesting.
Well, they're coming off a heartbreaker as Texas A&M and Wade Taylor hit a 3 at the buzzer to beat them there. I doubt they lose back-to-back games. Another thing is it's an old Big 8 rivalry. Oklahoma, Porter Moser on the road, to me, you can't take it with confidence. They've been ass his whole tenure on the road.
Is he safe?
No, I think the only thing that might save him is Venables is on the hot seat in football. If you're throwing all your money to that, you might buy another year of basketball.
They don't. And the other thing they have going for them there is they don't actually give a shit about basketball at Oklahoma. Compared to
which is weird. They used to too back in the day, but yeah, you're right. Their fans are weak lately. I'll just take Mizzou blindly here, especially because this is a rivalry game too, and they just dropped that one at the buzzer. So they're the much better team too. They're 15-1 at home this year. Mizzou.
Look at their losses too. The losses are like a relative who's who of just really fucking good teams, and specifically coming off playing Tennessee and Texas A&M. It's gonna feel like a much easier game against Porter Moser's soft ass defense.
Really? All right. I'll take Missouri here. I'm a little skeptical.
I've always taken Sister Jean's side in the divorce, so there could be some emotions there. I know you like a good free throw shooting team.
Well, Oklahoma is good from the line, 80%.
If I was, I don't know. If I was gonna fade Missouri, I would probably lean on my they're good at defending the 3-point line or something like that handicap, but no way. Lay the points. All right, this is one of my favorite classic ACC matchups. 6 p.m. here on the West Coast. I like how they did it late for the West Coast crowd in Durham, North Carolina, where Cal taking on Duke. Did I skip a game? Yeah, we'll do that one next. Duke laying a big number here. Colby. It's always scary to project a big number, but you almost nailed it perfectly. -24.
Ooh, wow. Good call. Colby had it as 24.5.
Well, because they're on to the trend that Colby's talking about fading these West Coast teams flying east.
Duke's off the loss too. I mean, I will say Mason Gillis is a game time decision, which he's actually a good player for them, but I don't know, man. These ones.
What do you do with this? It's a huge number.
That's what I'm saying. Normally, it's like a 12-point spread, so you're like faded. With 24, give me Cal in the points. Give me Cal. I just feel like they can stay within that number. First time. Look, for them, it's like this is their first time to Cameron Indoor Stadium too.
Yeah, well,
so I think
they're gonna be taking photos and like poses.
Yeah,
hey, can we get the tour?
It's like me when I lost by 96. They're gonna be taking selfies with the fucking scoreboard. It's just too big. It's just too big. Cal's not good, but Cal's not awful. So Duke by 17, Duke by 18, Duke by 19. Duke brings in the backups in the second half.
But even the backups, you might be worried because after Duke lost to Kentucky, then they beat Wofford by 51. After Duke lost to Kansas, they beat Seattle by 22 at home. So I think you split the difference here. Duke wins by 30. Give me Duke.
Duke wins by 22. Cal gets
really got right on the number there.
Yeah, I mean, Duke, the idea that Duke's coming off the loss and they got this team coming to town. I mean, Duke is. I think we have to maybe realize that they might be using that technology, and they just took whatever critter was inside of Coach K and they put it inside this new coach. Could be the same coach. Is Coach K showing up to the games, Colby?
No, he's gardening with Billis.
Not showing up to the game, so we haven't seen him.
Next to a few golfing chums of mine have ran into Coach K though, and they say he's
well, yeah.
Forgot we haven't talked about golf.
CJ or Colby shares a caddy with Coach K. He's not supposed to talk about it. You kind of know he's got some tips because they're playing in the member guest, and he's got his yardage book. We just gave Colby a nice yardage book as a company president.
Leather bound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we wait to the tournament to fade Mr. Shire. That's my plan with this Duke team. Lay it. All right, let's head to Lubbock, Texas, where Colby was a little bit off with this projection. Texas Tech laying 16.5 against our Arizona State. Sun ain't messing with no Devils. Where's Herm at? Hopefully the Devil hasn't gotten him yet. 6 p.m. on the West Coast. The Devil's definitely coming for Herm though. If he's so scared that he's going to say on a public mic at a press conference for the team he's coaching that are called the Sun Devils that he don't mess with no Devil. Herm did some bad things in his past. Texas Tech laying 60, including picking up that ball in the Meadowlands. Texas Tech laying 16.5. Colby, good unit there, but it's a lot of. Aren't we just taking it forks up, right?
I think we got to. I don't know, but Arizona State has been the most frustrating team yet again this year. Bobby Hurley, you truly are a magician with this. Just every game they're in a spot to. I mean, a lot of the games are in a spot to win, and you're getting the points, and then they don't even cover because they quit the final 2 minutes. It's been really tough with Arizona State this year. But I'll take the points. I still think it's a little off. I think Texas Tech wins by 10, 12, something like that.
Yeah, I thought they'd be able
Is
to.
Hurley going to lose his job?
Yeah, I mean, he should have lost it 2 years ago.
We should have known when he was up there glad handing with the boosters at the football game. Something was a ruse.
No, I'm with. I think this. I know it's a crazy number, but I'm taking Texas Tech. This Arizona State team, they have talent, but also they're just coming off their Arizona loss. Or sorry, no, that's Texas Tech. But I think Texas Tech, the defense is so good, and they're coming off a loss. I think they're going to get up for this game and they're going to put it on Arizona State. And to Colby's point, like the couple times I've had money on Arizona State this season, they seem very competitive. Like
they drive me crazy, dude.
Two different teams in the first half. They're like playing good ball. I mean, Arizona State was up against Arizona in the first half. I don't know how they blew that game a couple weeks ago. Messed up my parlay with the Super Bowl. So, yeah, give me Texas Tech laying the big number here.
Colby, what's this coach's name?
Grant McCaslin? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Oh yeah. We Texas Tech is also in the book already in terms of teams I'll be backing come tournament time. Sorry to do this. We were talking to an Arizona alum earlier today, and maybe it's time to switch sides. Forks down.
Wow.
Forks down. Well, it's a favorite. Come on, it's a big juicy favorite. We have one more game. Wyoming taking on New Mexico. Colby loves the pit. Colby told us this slate was not good. Sean, I feel like this is a pretty good slate.
Games, yeah.
7 p.m. on the West Coast.
What's that line?
Albuquerque. It's 18.
Yeah, that's my point.
Oh, it's a big spread. That's true. A lot of big spreads today. Yeah, Wyoming. This is a tough environment for them to go down to. Are you laying it? Or are you?
I'm laying it. Wyoming at the pit too. Like, I mean, this place is a hornet's nest. New Mexico is probably the best Richard Pitino team in his life as a head coach. They're 20-4. They want to lock up first place there in the Mountain West. That's on the horizon right there. I know Mustafa Amzil's a game time decision, but still lay it. I mean, do I need to tell you that Wyoming has been 3-6 on the road, and you look at those 3 wins, they're in buildings that no one goes to. So
I'm with you. Do we want to talk?
I mean, 18 is crazy, but you got to take New Mexico.
Do we want to talk elevation before we just put a stamp on it?
Yeah, Wyoming's coming from elevation, but obviously New Mexico has that bonus elevation. I'm not factoring in elevation because they're coming from Laramie.
Laramie is plus about 2,000 feet on Albuquerque. So even though Albuquerque a mile high, you got, I mean, Wyoming a true high elevation place.
I mean, how about this?
And let's lay it and do a Pitino parlay.
They lost by 41 at Boise. They lost by what? 19 at BYU.
Nice.
Now they did keep it within the number at Utah State. They almost won that game actually, but I still think you see first place. You see that regular season Mountain West title right there. If New Mexico can just handle business down the stretch here,
can we? Any chance we will get like what would be a good round for the Patinos to hit each other in the tournament? Elite 8, Sweet 16.
I don't know if New Mexico can go that far without the pit, but yeah, maybe Sweet 16, maybe round of 32.
That would they probably wouldn't. That would be excellent, but I doubt they would do that to us. 2 Patinos in one location. Better be a good diner city.
Look out. Hey, our locks and our dog brought to you by Rhythm Sports Gaming Podcast.com/RITHMM. Get in over there. Get your 7-day free trial today. Start building your own college basketball models.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the chat.
What's the chat saying?
Japan's cracking me up. He said he went and sold a car and the show is still going on. Let's go. Yeah, we'll have time for one closing dab rig firing up by Japan, I'm sure.
Yes, one of the greatest.
Actually, you know what, Japan, ever. If you could record yourself firing up the dab rig so we can get it on the soundboard.
Yeah, I'm down.
That way we have like a foghorn to call. Anyway, continue, Sean.
Rhythm, one of their favorite plays for tonight. They like to Paul catching 17.5 at Marquette. They think this is closer to a 12.2 game, and so they find some value there in getting DePaul plus 17.5 points. Build your own model. Very easy to do with the sliders and start dominating college basketball. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. 3 locks and a dog. Kramer, when you add the fourth lock,
it was
that's
bad.
where it gets bad.
I agree. That was my bad.
What's your first lock?
Well, during the show, I went and wagered on one of these games, so we'll have to start there. Samford laying the 4.5.
Okay.
It honestly, as I was listening to Colby, it was the game he was clearly most confident about.
Yep.
Lock number 2. Let's lean into some angles, right? We got the one Drake bounce back spot here. Had a horrible Super Bowl performance. Got called a pedophile repeatedly. We're gonna lay it here on the road in Illinois State, and then we're gonna we're only doing 3 locks. Shit, now I can't do it right. New Mexico minus 18. Dog.
Yes.
Let's see. I have 2 to choose from. Oh no! Wait a second. I only have 1 dog. Looks like it's gonna be a long, athletic cock dog from Columbia. Sorry, Chris Beard. Wouldn't be the first time Chris Beard got in trouble with an athletic cock.
So South Carolina on the money line. Okay. I'll go.
It wasn't me. It was my athletic cock.
I do like.
We're fucking doing the pole vault.
All right. Where do I start here? There's a lot. LSU +9. I think that's a bit too high. I also like IPFW on the road. Thank you. Laying the 1.5 feels like a good spot there. And last but not least, let's take Samford laying the 4.5. That feels pretty good for my dog. Give me Illinois State fading Kramer. Colby, what do you got?
Fun.
Yeah, let's lock up Samford minus the points there in Birmingham. Let's also lock up the Pussy Pack plus the 7.5.
What?
Yeah, and let's lock up Cleveland State minus 3.5. They take care of business at home, and the dog is since the cock has already been ridden by Kramer.
Whoa!
I will go with NC State, the Pussy Pack, to win outright against the Cods.
Any parlays interesting?
It is true. I did ride a cock as a dog.
Oh, okay. Your personal
furry convention now.
Your personal preference aside, do we want to throw in a parlay? Maybe Patino.
The Patino 2-step.
I'm not on Patino.
I like the Patino 2-step, Kramer. We could do that, but also Sean, how about a little Horizon parlay with IPFW and Cleveland State?
Okay, IPFW laying it, and Cleveland State. I like.
Am I invited to that or?
Sure.
Sure.
I like the Horizon League.
Okay, then that sounds like let's give that out as a group play there. All right. Hey, good times as always. We got a bunch more college basketball coming up. Obviously, subscribe to the College Experience Basketball Daily Picks Pod.
Baseball too, full swing this Friday. For all you heartbreakers out there, Valentine's Day, get ready for some college baseball. Check out the College Baseball Experience as well.
Go and we got a big week of shows. Football's done, but we did an early look at the Super Bowl 60 odds.
Sean,
check that out.
Football's not done.
Football, obviously
the off season has just started.
Yeah, we're switching gears, but still a lot to get to. Bunch of football picks, and of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Rick Pitino, lay it.
Kramer, let it ride.